Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Amir Raki, a PhD student at Alliance Manchester Business School, and this talk is based on a research project that I have been working on with my team of supervisors um, to study some of the consequences of online and digital transformation in the charity and community sector post-pandemic for their service users, particularly the lack of human touch, which is essential to the well-being of some vulnerable groups of population. As COVID-19 unfolded, charities have had to embrace remote working and online service delivery as never before to stay relevant and functional. Many of them have experienced a huge increase in demand for their services, and we saw that many charities had adopted their working practices to suit the new situation, showing agility in finding new ways to reach their beneficiaries and continue delivering services. However, what makes charity and voluntary services difficult to digitize is their quality to deliver on a range of social, emotional, psychological, and cultural needs alongside their core service, being a food bank, a work club, a community learning center, or a homeless shelter. A quality that is referred to as a holistic service provision to support whole individual development. In fact, sometimes these peripheral services and offerings are more valuable and needed from the service user's perspective than what is perceived as core and essential by charity organizations. Consequently, it's become essential for the charity and voluntary sector to keep pace with their users' needs, which are likely to be changing rapidly during the COVID crisis, and further factoring these needs into their digital activities and prioritizing these changing needs in their wider digital adoption to maintain their holistic service. In our research, we have had the opportunity to study an education service for refugees in Manchester, offered by a charity known as Caritas Diocese of Salford, 1 year before the COVID pandemic, and their digital transition 1 year into the pandemic to capture the experience of service users and to minimize the gap between users' needs and expectations and digital service delivery operation. In fact, we aim to explore how the charity and voluntary sector can ensure the social and psychological support are embedded in their COVID-inspired digital transformation to achieve the required well-being outcomes. In this case, although the core offering of Caritas to their refugee learners is education and mentoring, our findings reveal that from the learner's perspective, they not only associate more value to the social and emotional support that they are offered by the charity than educational support, but also this social support is a precondition for the fulfillment of their educational needs. Before the COVID, this wraparound service was provided by embedding education into a community-based service in a community center with an abundance of human touch, where people could have friendly, inviting, and caring interactions with sympathy and compassion, together with education and mentoring, as you can see in the slide. However, moving online, particularly on short notice, the focus of charities has been to make their core service available online as soon as possible, and less attention has been paid to their peripheral offerings, emotional and social support. Consequently, many people who rely on voluntary services to address their social needs have found themselves in context, such as one you see in the slides, a combination of digital tools that they don't perceive as meaningful or engaging or even appropriate in meeting their needs. This comes at the same time when these groups of population are more vulnerable than ever, with escalated emotional and psychological needs due to the consequences of lockdown and increased social isolation. In our research, we collected data from more than 100 refugee learners of Caritas through survey, online interviews, and focus groups, as well as participating in their online sessions over Zoom or elsewhere. And our findings demonstrate that although the majority of learners appreciate the convenience, accessibility, and cost effectiveness of online delivery compared to face to face, almost 80% of them prefer face to face over online. Exploring their experiences, most of this population refer to lack of warmth, lack of opportunities to have dialogue, lack of sensory cues such as eye contact and body language, not feeling significant and not receiving attention as an individual, and lack of personalized service that can deliver on their personal needs as the main shortcomings of digital service in the charity sector, which leaves them with unmet social, psychological, and emotional needs and can affect the educational outcomes as well. We also investigated what can facilitate human interactions over digital platforms and identified simplicity of digital initiatives against being just high-tech products, the flexibility of solutions so that users can choose the appropriate option based on their skills and resources, providing a space for random human interactions against a highly orchestrated and planned digital service, providing opportunities to socialize besides the core activity of learning, and improve the effectiveness of digital initiatives to meet the actual needs of users, not perceived needs, as enablers that can encourage participation and meaningful interaction. Moving forward, this is a work in progress, and currently we are working with the charity to find practical ways to incorporate these enablers and missing elements of human touch into their digital service design so that people can achieve both value of education as the core service of Caritas and social and emotional support as their essential needs. Although digital transition brings ample opportunities to charity and community sector, and other social and public services to increase their reach and function more cost effectively and inclusively. Through this research, we advocate for the experience of vulnerable groups to be placed at the core of any digital transformation to offer digital services. Those are inclusive, not only by covering all groups in need, but responding to their multiple needs and support the whole individual development. So that was my presentation. Back to you, Sarah.